What's happening, people? We are here in Essex. First time I've ever been in Essex in my life. They smuggled me in like Guillermo Redondo, straight out of Cuba, under the cover of darkness. Now I find myself in the Fight Talk Hub with the boss, Sam O'Reilly. How you doing, mate?
Very good, mate. I don't let just anyone in here, you know.
It's nice, I like it. There's lots of posters, lots of David Hay.
A lot of David Hay. I've got some Tyson Fury stuff.
Yeah.
We're good.
There's an eclectic taste.
Yes.
There's even MMA posters. We won't touch on that. Obviously, we're going to discuss the big drama show.
Big drama show.
The big Mexican drama show. Obviously, you got September 16th penciled in. After last night's fight, Canelo is going to fight Triple G, the fight everybody's been waiting on. I'm sure you're all very, very psyched about that. How are you feeling about that?
First things first, I'm happy it's been made.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've had so many years of the fights we want to happen not happening. I like the way you turned the beer to face you, so it wasn't an advertisement for...
You don't want to clash. We might get a sponsorship with a beer company one day. I don't want us haunting us.
It's not Mexican.
Cinco de Mayo.
Listen, I'm glad to see it happening. We had Josh Klitschko happen. Mm-hmm. Great fight, lived up to the spectacle. We've got the second Ward Kovalev fight happening in June. So first things first, I'm glad that the fights the fans want to see are actually fucking getting made now, which is it's good.
Well, I seen a status this morning on Twitter, which I think I shared, and it was basically all the fights that have happened this year are penciled in for this year. And even when you go back to January, you've got fights like De Gale fought Jack, Frampton fought Santa Cruz, Reno Quinlan fought Chris Eubank.
I don't think that was on the list.
They must have forgot. Thurman Garcia, just mega fight after mega fight, AJ and Klitschko. So it's definitely good. It's going to happen. What do you think right now, based on the performance we witnessed Canelo fighting Chavez Jr.? What do you think the ratio is in terms of who's going to win the fight? I'm
leaning towards Golovkin. I can see why people wouldn't, because he hasn't looked at his best. You know, we touched on it before we started filming a little bit earlier. He doesn't look quite the same as he did.
No.
Whether it's, I don't know, maybe taking his foot off the gas. I can't put my finger on it. He doesn't look as good as he did maybe 18 months, 2 years ago. That being said, I think his relentless style and his walk forward, just take one to take two to land one type style that he tends to have. I don't know if Canelo can deal with it. I don't know. Who has Canelo fought in his ridiculous amount of pro fights since he turned pro? What, 12? 11? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. He's probably fought, stylistically, out of 50 pro fights he's had, he's bound to have fought someone similar to Golovkin, but not as good.
He's fought a lot of good names already. Considering how young he is, he's obviously fought Mayweather and lost to Mayweather. He's fought Erislandy Lara, he fought Cotto, he fought Chavez Jr.
And Cotto's a brawler. Cotto can fight, but he can
Cotto was past his best, though.
Yeah, he was.
So
he was.
I think it'll be an interesting fight. The thing for me is Golovkin nowadays seems to just be plodding forward. The last couple of fights we've watched him, he plods forward, and he seems to almost rely on the fact that he's going to wear people down. And I think that's fine if you're up against a guy who's going to stand with his hands up and just take that and try and stand his ground. If you're against a guy who moves laterally and can swing in and out and can throw punches from different angles, like Canelo was picking some really nice shots last night. He wasn't really making a big dent in Chavez Jr., but he was picking some really nice shots. And I think the variety of his shot selection against the plodding forward of Golovkin, I don't know, I fancy Canelo, man.
Yeah.
As a fellow ginger Mexican, I
doing it for the gingers,
yeah, man. I think.
Listen, I can see what like. It's true. He can get around. If Canelo doesn't stand in front of Golovkin and he can come around the side and land, but can he hurt him? Can he actually hurt Golovkin, or are you saying he can box him for 12 rounds? Because I don't know if he can hurt Golovkin to the point of finishing him, stopping him.
I don't know. I think Golovkin's taking a lot more shots now than he used to take.
But I think that's boredom. I got bored of wiping people out.
It's like Kell Brooks just rattling his head back with uppercuts.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm good.
See what happens. You know what I mean? But no, I know what you mean. For me, Canelo's obviously Mayweather, and Mayweather beat him. But he took that fight when he was fairly young.
Yep.
Mayweather may have picked him at the right time, type thing. Do you know what I mean?
I think I was perfect matchmaking from Mayweather.
Yeah.
Looks good on the record. Knew Canelo's on the rise to being the biggest star.
Yeah, definitely.
And just picked
was
him
smart.
up.
Cotto was past his best. I love Cotto. Who doesn't love fucking Cotto?
Great fighter.
But has he fought a genuine powerhouse?
He's not fought a powerhouse, but I'll tell you who gave him a fucking nightmare. Lara.
Yeah.
Lara just moved, that Cuban movement, just moving in and out. I watched a clip the other day when Canelo was trying to relentlessly attack the body, and Lara was just stepping forward, so he couldn't get the full weight in his punches, moving in and out, moving side to side, and he gave him a nightmare. A lot of people thought that was a very, very close decision, but at least it's happening, and that's the main thing now.
That's the main thing. That is the main thing. Like I said, it's not just over here we're getting the big fights. That's a massive fight.
Massive.
It's probably the biggest fight in the world. Well, Ward Kovalev.
I think this is bigger.
You reckon?
Ward Kovalev's happened.
Yeah, but it's not bigger than the first one that happened in November.
I don't know, man.
Nah, Ward. I don't know if people don't like Ward or what. I fucking love Andre Ward.
They don't like him, but
Andre Ward is too good a boxer to be appreciated.
He's a classic.
He's like Mayweather. I stand by this. They're kind of too good to be appreciated because they make their opponents look average.
Do you think in 10 years people will be freaking out about how good they were?
I fucking hope so.
Just playing clips. I hope so.
Hope so. I still think Floyd, the people that don't like Floyd do him a disservice.
Yeah.
And I can't see it.
I think it's embarrassing when people slag off Floyd. I think it just shows a lack of knowledge of what the game is about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, you just touched on him. Smart matchmaking at times. Yeah. Yeah, of course. At the end of the day, he's his own boss in a way. You know what I mean? He can he's one of the rare few fighters that has been able to pick and choose what he does for the last few years.
Yeah.
Because he's that big. He brings that much money to Las Vegas itself.
He's the guy.
They didn't send him to jail when he beat his missus up. Do you know what I mean? Well, no, believe him. He brings 20 million to Las Vegas that weekend. All right, I'll go to jail later. That's Floyd. And yeah, smart matchmaking, etc. But he is one of the best for me. I know I've digressed a little bit.
Yeah.
But Canelo was on the way out. It might have been a different fight if it happened now. Canelo would have learned from that. Being in the ring with a Mayweather, you can make arguments for that would have gone in his favour. Learning from being a big. Who's Golovkin been in? Who's Golovkin been in with where you've gone, he's an underdog?
When you look at Golovkin's record, there's not really like any crazy impressive names. He fought Danny Jacobs, and I thought Danny Jacobs gave him a fucking
great
nightmare.
fight.
I thought it was a nightmare for him. Controversial. I actually had Jacobs winning the fight by 1 round, maybe. I know a lot of people thought it went the other way, which I don't have a problem with. But stylistically, just gave him a nightmare. Just moved, circled round, and through 3s and 4s, back out again. And I think that's what you need to do.
It was a great game plan.
That's what you need to do.
What's his name? Your boy.
Shout out Andre Rosier every time.
Andre Rosier.
My mate.
His mate. They go way back.
Me, Andre and the IBO. We don't like one
brothers.
But yeah, the game plan was perfect, and I think that's how you have to beat him. I think Kell Brook was having some success. He was probably never going to beat him, really, but he had some success. He was catching him, and I think Golovkin gets caught a lot more now than he used to back in the day.
Does he get caught more than Canelo gets caught as well?
Yeah, I think Canelo's better defensively.
I'd say so. I'd say Canelo's a better defensive boxer. He's not as good offensively. He's probably technically, in a way, you know. I don't know. It's a hard fight. It's a really hard fight to call. Already today, the fight got made at 6 a.m. English time. Yeah. So we're 12 hours later.
Yep.
And I've seen so many opinions split on Twitter.
Yeah.
So many different people. No, it's a shutout for not a shutout. It's a Canelo convincingly on points.
Yeah.
No, Golovkin finishes him the same way he does as others. I've seen so many different opinions already, and I love that. I love that shit. That's when you know it's a legit tough fight.
I think what we have to bear in mind, and we touched on it already, is the matchmaking aspect.
Who's promoting this one? Do you know?
Oh, I think it'll be Golden Boy. I would imagine Vegas.
Loeffler. They just probably come to some arrangement between them.
What I was going to say is the timing thing is probably a fair point as well now, because I think they've waited until they thought Golovkin was good to go. But the team Canelo 35 now, yeah. Canelo's 26.
Been a pro for 21 years now.
I think so. So he beat Matt Hatton when he was 7 years old.
He did.
Which was remarkable.
He did.
I'm very conscious of the fact we're sitting in exactly the same way.
Beautiful.
Telepathic, yeah. That's how we work.
I'm free. We got that. It's a great fight. It's a good fight.
Does it stop the rumoured fight between Mayweather and McGregor happening, something you touched on earlier.
Yeah.
Does that put the brakes on that?
I still vehemently believe the fight happens because money talks. Mayweather will get another 100 million payday. Who else is in boxing right now that could give him that payday?
Nobody cares.
Nobody. No one cares.
He went out on a win against Andre Berto.
Exactly. Fuck me. Whereas Mayweather McGregor, unfortunately for me, sells. It does massively.
Yeah.
So I believe the fight happens. But the timeline I can't get my head around because I was under the impression September.
Yeah, well that's what I'd heard, middle of September.
Mayweather always fought May, September.
Yeah, same as the Mexicans, right?
Because that was his weekend to have Vegas as his own.
Yeah. I think I've put a lot of faith in the fact that you've just used the word vehemently.
What's wrong
So
with that?
now that means I think it's going to happen. Sam's obviously researched some other ways of saying I truly believe. So
Yeah.
now I truly believe vehemently that the fight will happen as well.
Vehemently is a good word.
Solid word. Almost as good as plethora.
Yeah, a plethora of shots will
See?
stop Golovkin in his tracks.
Shout out Sean Errol's plethora all day.
Errol's?
He uses it, man.
His name's Earls.
Fuck off.
Fucking Scott.
Fuck off.
Errol's. Big up Sean Earls.
Is Golovkin too old?
35 years old. We'll find out. Has he been in too many, not many wars, that's not the right word. Has he taken too many shots? Has he taken more shots than Canelo? Probably.
Do you think his record is so
37, yeah? 37 and 0.
Yeah, but do you think it's so up for debate because he picks his opponents or because his opponents don't want to fight him?
Good point. Good question. We don't know. We don't know who really turns him down. We don't really know what offers are ever on the table at any point. No matter how much motherfuckers tweet it.
Yeah.
To sign the paper, we've said, fuck off, mate. Listen, you don't ever know what goes on behind closed doors. So
it's all talk.
People may have. I no doubt there's probably boxers that have gone risk for fighting Golovkin, reward they're offering me fucking pittance.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know.
It's interesting, and I wonder. I don't think Alvarez was ducking him, man. I don't think he was. He took Mayweather on.
Yeah.
And that risk reward thing there.
Yeah.
I think he went, oh fuck.
I didn't like. He came out. I can't remember what fight it was now. Canelo had. It was around this time last year. He had a fight.
He fought a black guy. What's he called? Battered him.
Smashed him.
The dude that was trained by the woman.
Yes, Kirkland.
James Kirkland. That was a buff.
And then he said, us Mexicans, we don't duck it. And then he vacated his title that Golovkin had become mandatory for. Now, Canelo fans will say, yeah, because he didn't want to have to sort of come to terms and just throw them together. They can make a real fight and make a. Yeah, sometimes these things take longer.
Yeah,
but it don't look good.
He does that all the time. He done it when
wins
he
it, vacates
when he won. He doesn't care about world titles, which kind of saddens me. And I think it puts a lot of people off.
Was that for a belt last night? Or was it just for the made-up Mexican one?
No. It was for the official WBC Cinco de Mayo
Corona Classic.
The Corona Classic. No product placement, man. Fuck. Yeah, that was a nice belt. But in WBA did that with their belt last week.
Did they?
They put little pictures of little ceramic pictures of Joshua and Klitschko.
That's quality.
They're all doing it with the belts.
Getting flash. What the IBO doing? Have you spoke to Ed?
Well, we'll sort something out. They'll probably just put a picture of me on the belt.
Yeah. And an iron brew.
Always an iron brew. Keep an eye on the IBO newsletter. My article will be on there officially. Thank you.
Big up the IBO.
Yeah, a lot of respect for the IBO. Yeah. Well, funny enough, this fight will be for the IBO.
Canelo's got it. Golovkin's got it.
Canelo and GGG will be for the IBO.
Golovkin's got the IBO, so yeah, it'll be man like Ed will be at the front, holding a little.
He'll be in there. He'll make himself known.
Big up Ed Levine.
But I think the difference in personality is that Golovkin is all about the belts, the honour, the pride. I want to be the world champion. I want to own all the belts. And Canelo doesn't really care about the belts. He ditches them. He beat Liam Smith, ditched it. Beat Kirkland, ditched it. He does it all the time. Fights at different weight classes all the time.
Makes his own weight
class.
164.
Canelo weight.
Surely 164. You're a super middleweight.
Yeah.
Because you didn't make 160. So
you are the next one up. Right?
Yeah. That's what I thought. But who knows? He's a Canelo weight. Listen, some people can do that. Floyd has been winning titles and vacating them and fighting at different fucking weights and doing what he wants for years. He's Floyd Mayweather. I don't give a fuck. Canelo Alvarez, does he have the same draw in Vegas that Floyd had in his heyday, in his prime?
But when did Floyd, think about this, right? When did Floyd hit his sort of commercial prime?
Yeah.
Hit his commercial prime from about 32 to 38, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Dude's only 26, man.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It's insane.
But not everyone's going to fight to their 38. And not everyone's going to fight to their 38 at that level.
That's true.
Because no one really does. Alright, Vladimir just did it at 41. But how many other guys can we honestly go late 30s, early 40s? Fuck me, they were excellent. You know what I mean? Doesn't happen often. So he's now 40 years old, Floyd. And he's still as commercially viable as he was 5 years ago, isn't he?
Yep.
How many people have that kind? I don't know why I keep going to Floyd. Maybe more. I don't know why I keep going back to Floyd, but
he's a one-off.
He is a one-off.
And I think Golden Boy are trying to push Canelo as that one-off of now the here and
I believe he's quite.
I don't think.
Do you know what doesn't help? And it's bad to say. I think if he was more fluent in English, may help him more. He could do more English-based interviews. He wouldn't always need a translator. He could be a big name on. Over here, who knows? It might open up different avenues for him. He obviously doesn't care enough because he hasn't learned the language at 26.
Yeah,
knows a little bit.
He speaks more English than I do Spanish, so
see. Not me, mate. Fluent as a motherfucker.
GGG Canelo, the big one's happening September 16th. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll follow this up with some more stuff in the build-up. Fight Talk here in Essex. Don't tell anyone I'm here, especially not my mates for Glasgow. They'll never let me live it down. FightTalk.net. Take it easy.